Greetings, diehards. It's your boy Ewo the Andy, the host of the Dynasty Podcast. I am going live today. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, I'm going live on Sportscaster, Facebook, and Twitter. This is Dynasty Podcast, man. It's been a little while, man. I was sick, no COVID, but I was under the weather, had a little stomach bug, so that's what's a little bit of the delay between podcasts. But I'm feeling good, man. So since I'm feeling good, I'm gonna drop this new beat that I got that I'm gonna be playing for my intros. Starting today. So just check it out. It's kind of smooth, nice little background beat. This beat is made by Gorilla. Name is spelled Grrlla. He goes by Gorilla Soul, and you can find him on Instagram. He kind of does the beats, for his own personal leisure, stuff like that. But he just was so nice to hook the brother up. Run a nice little beat here, man. So look out for that, man. That's gonna be something new with the Dynasty Podcast. So whenever you hear the podcast, you probably hear that in the beginning, along with my normal intro and stuff like that. Anyway, this is Dynasty Podcast. Ewo the Andy Star. That's me. Die Hard on the hat, Knicks on the chest. Let's go, man. All right. So what I'm gonna talk about today, man, is just the chain of command. Like ignorance is bliss with these Knicks fans out here, man. That's why I do the podcast, because there's, I like to voice my opinion about stuff that the guys are talking about. So like, of course, Kenny Payne is like the main topic right now. It's the most recent topic. So we pulled him from Kentucky. So right off the bat, Kevin Knox gets thrown out there, and surprisingly, nobody talks about Julius Randle. He also played for Kentucky. So big man whisperer. All the guys from Minnesota. You want to talk about Karl Anthony Towns and all these different guys, whatever. You give credit to all these different people that Kenny Payne touched with his hands, right? But like I said, nobody wants to talk about Julius Randle. So how does this affect the Knicks, going forward when it comes to free agency and stuff like that? All right, so that's what I wanted to get off about Kenny Payne at the moment. I'll talk more about him at the end. But what people need to understand is this chain of command. We got our coach, right? So when you hear Knicks fans talk, they talk about the coach. Oh, the coach is going to get this. The coach is going to do that. Oh, the coach is going to do that. Now we got Kenny Payne. Oh, Kenny Payne is going to get the guys right. He's going to get Kevin Knox right. Oh, then they talk about draft picks. Oh, Thibs is going to pick this guy. Thibs is going to pick that guy. Truth be told, Thibs is not picking anybody. The Knicks just hired a brand new front office. We talked about it. Everybody's talked about it for so long, but you got to keep talking about it, because casual fans, even fans that call themselves diehards, still refer to Tom Thibodeau as if Tom Thibodeau is now the president or the owner of the Knicks now. There's still a pecking order. I'm not gonna mention the owner's name until maybe a little bit later. But let's talk about who we hired to be the president. Leon Rose. Nobody talks about Leon Rose anymore. It's like he was hired, okay, Leon Rose, and then they stopped talking about him. Now it's like Steve Stout. Steve Stout embarrassed himself by going on ESPN. That's one thing I would like to, if anyone's watching this, someone that's stay off of ESPN. Certain shows, that are pretty great, but the two particular people that you need to stay away from, why would you go on their show? Because you're supposed to be the what do you call the branding person. So the branding person, the first thing you do as soon as you get hired, as soon as it announced that you're hired, is you go on First Take, ESPN with those goons there, man. Like you embarrass every single Knicks fan, because up until today, people still talk about that. So you already embarrassed yourself in that way. Now you want to talk about Worldwide West. Worldwide West, he was rumored to be here since February, so now he's finally here. So now this guy Steve Stout made the comment that between him and Worldwide West, they'll have a team, unlike any other in the NBA, to be able to attract free agents to the Knicks or whatever, bro. That's to me, that all that is old conversation, whatever. And like I said, this is Steve Stout. This is the guy that's supposed to be handling the marketing, stuff like that. So far, he's been doing a terrible job at the marketing. So if you want to market the Knicks, just be quiet. You know what I'm saying? We got you here. Okay, cool. Worldwide West, everybody knows who Worldwide West is. We may not know exactly what his job has been all these years. Just like Steve Stout, we don't really know what Steve Stout has been doing all these years. He might have been a manager in the 90s, but since the 90s, that was a long time ago. What has he been doing since then? He's been getting himself into marketing and advertising right now. So he's putting his hand in the sports world. So these are all new hands in the pot of NBA franchises. So Leon Rose was a super agent. World Wide West, like I said, nobody knows exactly what he does, but everybody knows who he is. And Steve Stout. These are three guys, main guys that we hired in the beginning, basically in the beginning, that have no experience in the NBA. Okay, with that being said, let's just go down to the first moves that this guy Leon Rose hired. So I'm just gonna use the help of my friend here. That's Google, and we're gonna go to NBA.com and just go to the source. Associated Press. The first hire the Knicks made was Brock. These guys names are crazy. Brock um Aller or whatever. It sounds like a wrestler, but he was hired to be the vice president of basketball and strategic planning. So at the time I was kind of pissed because Cleveland has a shitty cap, and they don't know who to draft and this that, and the other. But this guy's supposed to be an analytic guy. He's supposed to be like this guy that's so smart and bright and this that, and the other. Anyway, okay, cool. All those accolades, whatever, and people want to argue with you and say, "Oh yeah, but the Knicks gotta do this and the other." They need a statistician. They need somebody that's good with strategic planning and stuff like that. All right, cool. But you can say what you want to say. I don't want to say anything negative about the guy. That's not my whole point here. We got one of the top young guys as far as strategic planning and modern, gathering information as far as modern basketball is concerned from Cleveland. Everybody seems to like this guy. Everybody has a lot of great things to say about him. All right, cool, fine. Whatever you want to say, he's here now. Second hire, Walter Perrin as the assistant general manager. Assistant general manager to Scott Perry, who's still the manager. We'll probably talk about that a little bit later as well. But we right off the bat hire vice president Brock Ellier and Walter Perrin and assistant GM. Two guys right off the bat that we hired. Now Walter Perrin, he's from Utah. So his thing with Utah is that he's always been connected with the young guys. Always had an eye for talent. He was credited for basically drafting all the young guys the last, like, I want to say like 10, 15 years in Utah. And Utah has always been a team that's always had their hand in picking up a lot of great, not greats to not that great word is disgusting, but good to pretty good talent. I want to say. So you want to say Donovan Mitchell? Okay, is recent. A couple other guys that that they brought on. A couple guys from Australia. Just stuff like that. He's the type of guy that knows how to get personalities together, winning personalities. So that's he's been credited that for Utah. So anyway, we grabbed him to be an assistant GM to Scott Perry. Now, say what you want about Scott Perry. Scott Perry's been great. Like right now, Scott Perry's rumored to be going back to Sacramento. Sacramento is rumored to want to bring him back because he helped build what they had over there. Since he left, they kind of don't know what the hell to do over there. So that says a lot about Scott Perry, man. So we got a guy like Scott Perry and then a guy like Walt Perrin. Both guys seem like they're one and the same. So that general manager spot is very important, man. We have two guys that are very respected, very smart, and have their hands and eyes connected to this young generation. They know who to pick. Look at Sacramento. Look at the guys that Sacramento got. All their young guys over there. Look at their team and who he picked over there. And then compare to the guys that he picks since he's been here with the Knicks. So there's a game plan here. And Walter Perrin is going to be very important with that. So along with my guy Brock over there. So anyway, along with this article here, you want to talk about Frank Zanin as another assistant general manager for pro scouting. Pro scouting. Walter Perrin, Scott Perry, both of these guys hands on the young guys. So this is a front office that was assembled initially by Leon Rose to be very focused on the youth. We're building, guys. There's too much emphasis being put on this free agency and then who we're gonna pick or who we're gonna waste money on and this, that, and the other. These guys are the Knicks. These guys that the Knicks are hiring, starting from Leon Rose. Leon Rose was well-respected GM throughout his career, and then he hired all these different guys that I mentioned: Walt Perrin, Brock, and Zanin. These two guys that he added to this mix initially. Just sets the table right there. The Knicks are trying to build around these young guys. They want to grab more young guys into this mix to continue to build a foundation. People want to keep saying culture. Culture is another tire. It's a tire cliche now. It's a new word that people started using. I want to say like the last couple years or so. Culture. Oh, we want to build a culture. Oh, no, now we're going to build the culture now that we got Coach Tibbs. No, the culture starts from within. You know, the culture starts from the ownership, really. You know, and then it goes down into the front office. We all know everything about our owner. You know, I don't want to say his name because I don't want to put emphasis on him. But you say what you want about him. He's always been trying to put somebody in here that's going to do something for us. He's always spent the money. You can't say he doesn't spend money. He's always spent the money. So anyway, right now, he was pulled away years ago. Now he was pulled away from the team years ago. You know, I don't want to talk about Oakley. You know, we talk about you know what's going on at the present moment. He's been pulled himself out of the front office years ago. So now we have guys here that know what they're doing. Leon Rose, obviously, like I said, he hired guys that has their hand on the street as far as getting these young guys involved. All right, break it down to you want to say Coach Thibodeau. Coach Thibodeau for me is somebody that's like, is like a figurehead that's going to get you know Knicks fans involved. You know, so as far as managing the locker room, managing the team, the coach, the everything having to do with that, that's what Coach Thibodeau does. He's been a lifer. He's I said he was 65 in my last show. I think he's actually like 62 or 63, probably 62. But anyway, he's pretty old, man. But anyway, you have to take some of the power that he had from Minnesota away and then make him just do what he does, and that's coach. You know, and then you know you want to talk about coaching the you know developing young guys and stuff like that. You know, he's always been about practice, being prepared, getting guys in the right positions to succeed and stuff like that. So this is the guy that we have in the forefront, and it connects with the guys above him, the general manager, assistant general manager, vice president, and then the other assistant general manager that we have. You know that's what, 5 people there, 5 people ahead of him are guys that are focused on building the team, you know, from the ground up with youth through the draft, young players and stuff like that. Now you got a coach that all he wants to do is talk basketball. 60 something years old. Like I said, I never looked at it, but I don't think he has any kids or anything. This is his kid. You know, these basketball that we talk about here. You know, this is his kid. So the figurehead along with the body, which is Coach Thibodeau, is connected. This stuff is connected now. So this is something that we haven't had in so long. You know, you could just go down the line. Every single era that we have, even if we had success in those eras, there's always was a disconnect between between ownership, front office, and coach. Right now, everything is seamless right now. So you know, so I say all this. I say all this to say, you Knicks fans need to wake up, man. I know this is a Die Hard Knicks podcast, so if you're following me and you're watching the podcast right now, you are a diehard, you know. At least I would hope so. If you're watching this, you kind of know what's going on and whatever. But a lot of people are watching this and they don't know what's going on. So they might listen and they might get fragmented, if you want to say, the old Windows computers type of thing, you know, hit the frag button and you watch all the pieces come back together, you know what I'm saying? So this is like a refresher of sorts for Knicks fans, is that like you have to understand that this pecking order. So it doesn't begin with Coach Thibodeau. It began at the top. It began with our owner stepping away, allowing a real basketball person to come in here, and allowing that person to hire his people, and everything is in unison. So now the important thing now is like, what do we do next? What do we do next? Now, here's another thing too. When you connect fans to this whole thing, everyone's expecting the worst. Why expect the worst if everything that's happened now has been great so far, except for our marketing guy, except for Steve Stoute, because I guess he hasn't been on TV ever. Like I don't recall him ever seeing him. I had to actually look for a picture of him, or maybe I might have saw him in like the Source magazine back in the days or something like that. But he hasn't really had his face anywhere up until now. So, you know, I guess maybe he might be excited with this whole thing, you know, and maybe he feel like just his name and what he represents is going to have a little bit of clout. But I mean, this whole clout stuff, this whole clout chasing stuff, like I hope that's the end of it. I hope these guys are getting themselves organized in such a way to keep that heat off of not necessarily the team, but off of us, of us too. I mean, I'm rocking this Knicks shirt. I got this Die Hard hat. I got this Die Hard podcast. Do you know how many times I have to argue with people in the street? A lot of times with people that I don't even know. Like I could be talking with somebody else or whatever, and then somebody else from out across the room got to chime in and be like, yo, this, that, the other. It's like, yo, and then I had to sit and be quiet. It's like I know you see the hat. You know what I'm saying? I know you see the shirt. You know, I know you see the sticker. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a Knicks fan. So you're trying to antagonize me. And I know a lot of you guys that watch the show and listen to the podcast on the audio stream. I'm quite sure you guys go through the same type of thing, man. So I'll take a pause for the rant, and I just want to see who's here, man. So we got Sportscaster, man. Sportscaster, you guys are my guys, man. I'm just gonna shout out whoever's in the room here. We got well, first off, Arthur, he dropped 20 tickets today. So that's great. Jimmy Jazz is on here. He dropped 50 tickets. Let's see who else is here. We got Joe Madden, we got Ro, and we got Ellie Peters. Ellie Peters left and he came back again. Well, no, I see that they started following me. So follow me on Sportscaster. If you're watching this on Facebook or whatever, or on Twitter, check us out on Sportscaster. There's a good group of guys there on Sportscaster. So I challenge everybody on Sportscaster that's watching. If you're watching on Sportscaster, come in and in the chat, and I'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So let's check out what we got here on Twitter. We got what's this? Fahim Insurance, good hire. You know, wasn't sure exactly who he was referring to. And then of course Julius Randle. So I guess he was talking about the Leon Rose and the Kenny Payne thing. So I mean the Kenny Payne was a good hire, but we have to take it easy with that. You know, he's the Kentucky Whisperer, but at the same time these guys already had talent when he got there. You know, these guys already had talent when he got to Kentucky. It's just a powerhouse in a way that these kids are just brainwashed to go to these quote unquote elite schools. You know, like you want to talk about Kentucky, Kansas, UNC, Michigan, all these top schools has always been there. Duke, these kids, they just go to these schools mindlessly. You know what I'm saying? So if Kenny Payne is a coach and he's getting all this talent, you know what I'm saying, and then maybe like stuff that he might be telling them might help them out a little bit. Okay, you want to credit him for these guys' career? You got to be careful with that. See, that's the thing that a lot of these news media outlets, they like to play this up because they know that New Yorkers love superheroes. You know, they love guys that are played up to be like these experts. Oh, he's the guy that did it. This is the guy that did it. That's why people love Tom Thibodeau. So that's why that's also a genius hire as well, because people put these guys on pedestals. That's just New York media in general. They like to put guys on pedestals, and then if they don't live up to whatever, or if they mess up a little bit, then they just bam break them down again. Hoping that they rise up, that they will have another chapter to talk about. So you just gotta be careful with that. So anyway, who else we got here? We got Michael with like his telephone number attached to the name there. He says we picked Knox over MPJ and SGA. Let me see. Let's just throw it on the screen. There you go. Oh, that's a nice picture of you and your son there, man. Beautiful. But anyway, this is what you had to say, whatever. I mean, you just got to look at about. Let me just leave it up there. You just got to think about what was happening at the time. Michael Porter Jr. had a really bad. Was it like a spine injury, like a lower back injury? So he didn't really play basketball, and then when he did play basketball, he didn't look good when he played. So it was something that the Knicks made a game time decision kind of thing. So they picked Kevin Knox, and then also too there was a famous workout where they had a couple guys playing one-on-one against each other, and apparently Kevin Knox had a great day, and he destroyed whoever was in front of him, and he was the best player in the gym. So that sealed the deal for the Knicks and for me as well. At the time, I wasn't sure who we were going to draft because personally, this might sound like I'm just jumping on the bandwagon now, but I kind of wanted Bobo. You might have to like go to my old podcast and run through them and figure out when exactly I was saying that. But Bobo was one of the guys that I wanted because yeah. Was it Bobo? I think I'm just thinking about Bobo. Bobo was the last year's draft. Anyway, but Michael Porter Jr. Anyway, like he had the bad back, so what can you do, man? They just went with the guy that they thought was going to be the one. Speaking of Bobo was this past draft, right? Am I bugging out or something? Now I got to look it up. Bobo, when the fuck was he drafted? Because I know I had like a whole speech just now. I was about to go crazy, but now I got to retract what I was saying there. Because I know he was hurt and then he didn't come back. So I mean he was drafted. Yeah, he was drafted last year. So I mean that's a whole different thing there. All right, my bad. You know what I'm saying? I was about to go hard, but well, since we're talking about Bobo, he didn't get drafted down until like the second round. He was drafted in the second round. Now look at him. That's another guy in Denver with Michael Porter Jr. They just hit the jackpot. Michael Porter Jr. got healthy, and Bobo's getting an opportunity because Bobo has the talent. Bobo always had the talent, but it's just like it's caught up in this whole NBA thing where everybody wants the little guy that can shoot the three. You got to be a three and D kind of guy. You got to be a stretch four, stretch five. You got to be a little guy that can shoot threes. That's just the today's NBA. But now you see Bobo is now being looked at as a unicorn. You know what I'm saying? So speaking of unicorn, we got this guy KP. I wanted to devote a whole podcast to KP, but since we're here, well, let's talk about KP for a little while. So anyway, that's another topic of conversation. Since this bubble thing, you got the guy that we drafted, got rid of, and got back. Tim Hardaway Jr. He's over there. You got the other guy that thinks he's Allen Iverson, which with Trey Burke, and then you got what's the name? Kristaps is over there, right? Okay, cool. So say what you want to say about any of those guys. Okay, look at Dallas, guy they're playing so well. Did the Knicks at any point in time have Luka Doncic? You know what I'm saying? Did the Knicks at any point have Luka Doncic? That's all I have to say. Because we did have Melo, but Melo's not Luka Doncic. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the way Melo's playing right now, old man Melo in Portland, he's a guy that doesn't have the ball. Damian Lillard is the man that has the ball. Second option is the other guy that I can't get his name right now. But I mean, those are the options right there. The third option is not Melo. The third option is the other young kid at center that he was hurt all year. Now he's playing as fantastic now. So I mean, Melo is now if there could be an option, he's the fourth option right now. So anyway, the ball starts with Dame, just like in the last game when he hit like that 3-pointer towards the end. Dame, whatever, him and CJ McCollum, right? Between them two playing back and forth, somebody drives, whatever kicks in, and then guess who's open? Melo. You know what I'm saying? And Melo's gonna hit that every single time, especially with no crowd in the background. You know what I'm saying? And especially with no pressure because he's gonna have the ball. All he has to do is catch and shoot. That's what he wants to do anyway. So catching and shooting with nobody on him, Carmelo Anthony, he's gonna be able to do that until he's like dead. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be able to shoot that shot from the grave. You know what I'm saying? That's how good Melo is. But Melo is not Luka Doncic though. He doesn't set the table for anybody. So anyway, Luka Doncic is gonna get you 30. Yes, same way like Melo would, but he's also gonna get you damn near 10 plus assists. He's gonna get you the rebounds. You know what I'm saying? He's going to draw all the attention in the world. So that leaves a guy that doesn't have any moves, number one, in Kristaps, somebody that could shoot like Kristaps, doesn't have any moves. He's just big. That's why he's able to get all these scoring opportunities. So anyway, and then you got Tim Hardaway Jr. that doesn't have to ball handle because Luka's ball handling, And then finally, Trey Burke. Trey Burke is a guy that I wish we would have kept, but I think he might have ruined his own Knicks career because when he first came in here from wherever he came from, he wasn't in shape, so he was playing on tired legs, but he was actually played pretty well. Then you want to fast forward to the next year, that summer he was playing. I feel like I seen him in Dykeman play a couple times in Dykeman myself, with my own eyes in Dykeman. And then if he wasn't playing in Dykeman, he was playing in basically every league out there, especially in New York, a couple of places I want to say in DC, and I think maybe some other places too. He was just dropping 30, 40, 50 in all these different leagues and stuff like that. And then on top of that, he was posting all his workouts online and stuff, so him running up and down the beach. So anyway, he was in his best shape of his life. But anybody that knows, if you train your legs to that degree, play that much basketball and working out that severely, you're gonna kill your legs. So in my opinion, he had dead legs. If you know what I'm talking about. If your knees are constantly banging at the joint all the time, you get this phenomenon where you feel stress in your bones, in your shins and in your thigh muscles and stuff like that. So anyway, I say that because I just know that from experience. You know what I'm saying? So when he was out there playing, he just had dead legs. He had no first step. The first step that he was showing all summer, everything, all the explosion, everything that he was showing, because he's in shape, but he wasn't injured, but it was just that his legs were dead. He just could not. He just could not do it. So anyway, that was his downfall when he was at the Knicks. He was trying too hard to be the guy because he had the opportunity. So he kind of killed that opportunity with his dead legs, whatever. Anyway, fast forward now to Dallas. Time has passed. Guys know what to do now. Tim Hardaway Jr. done been through everything. They sent him to the G League when he was in Atlanta. We drafted him, and then he went to Atlanta, and then he sent him to the G League, and then nobody was checking for him, and the Knicks signed him, and then we ended up getting rid of him in this KP trade. So anyway, he's been through it all, so he ain't got nothing to lose. This is his last stop, and he's looking for another contract. Let's be real. So and same thing with Trey Burke. Right now, he's looking for another contract as well. So these guys are now putting opportunities where there's nobody in front of them. There's no shooting guard in Dallas right now that's really better than Tim Hardaway Jr. And there's no point guard really right now that's better than Trey Burke over there, other than Luka, because Luka's the one that's going to be handling the ball mostly. So anyway, it's a perfect scenario over there in Dallas. Also, you got an ownership that gives you anything that you want, treat you like a baby, and then you have a news media outlet that's soft as Twinkie feeling, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's talking about Dallas. Even the people in Dallas aren't talking about Dallas. Dallas is like even though they did win a championship with Dirk's not there no more, so nobody really cares about them. You got Houston with James Harden over there, and San Antonio with Popovich and stuff like that. This is the state that they live in. So Dallas is just Dallas. So it's a perfect place for someone to succeed. So anyway, who cares about Dallas, man? So I went on that rant. Who else is here, man? Anybody here in Sportscaster? We got another person, Red Bones. Red Bones is a familiar name. How you doing there? Once again, if anybody wants to chime in on the chat, hit me up, man. This is the Dynix podcast going live on a brunch special at noon. This was my brunch, actually. I was gonna like display it, but I burnt half of it, and it's just little veggie chunks that I have here. I'm vegetarian, by the way. Vegetarian that happens to love cake and ice cream and shit like that. That's why I always having problems with my weight. Anyway, this is like some little kind of like a veggie kind of thing. So I've been eating that for the brunch. And I just got some chips here. I kind of burnt that shit. And of course, I got my Nick juice. Yeah, man, trying to. Yo, New York City is fucking. The rain is bad today, man. Also, this might be like the coldest day of the summer because it's been stuck at like 70 degrees all day. What's the temperature right now? Temperature at the present moment is still 70, right? Yeah, still 70 degrees. It hasn't changed. The temperature hasn't changed all day since I woke up this morning. 70 degrees. So it's pretty cold out there, man. The wind is blowing. It's raining out there. Yeah, man. So thanks for everyone that's been tuning in. I see some people watching on Twitter and Facebook. If you're there, hit me up in the chat, man, so we can say what's up. Oh, we got my guy here, Mark Irvin. What's good, Mark? Yep, it's easier to thrive with looking at. We actually were talking about that the other day, man. So, I'll just leave you up there. Yeah, the main focus is Luka. So I mean, Luka can score as much points as he wants to, but he chooses to pass a lot. So a lot of times, if he gets a 40-point game, 30-point game, he's gonna have 15 assists sometimes with that, and he's gonna have like 10, 12 rebounds sometimes as well. A lot of those rebounds are offensive, So if you credit the offensive rebounds along with those assists, that 30 points could quickly turn to 60, 70 points of created offense just from one player. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to Melo always averages a lot of assists. He always averaged 3. I want to say 4. I'm not sure if he got up to 5. And I don't have the stats here, But you know, that's not really counting for a lot of offense. A lot of it is just like, yo, I can't shoot, so here's a pass. Oh, you might make the shot because the shot clock is going down. Okay, cool. There goes my assist. It's not like he was like making anybody better. You know, even though like Melo might be a nice guy off the court, maybe he might have bought a guy a pair of socks. If he needed them, or whatever you want to say. All the good stories about Melo. He's a good guy. He is a good guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to know him to understand that. But we're talking about basketball, man. There's guys that I work with in my day job that are great guys. When I see them, I give them hugs and stuff like that. But then when we get out there and start working, these guys are a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. It's like once you're working, it's one thing. But once you get out, I mean, once you're off the clock, it's one thing. But once you get in between that rectangle, that 90 whatever feet of that basketball court, people are gonna be doing what they're gonna do to preserve themselves. You know what I'm saying? Just like with any workplace, man. So, yeah. So Mark is still here talking. What else you talking about here? What's your thoughts on the upcoming bubble playoffs and best first round matchup? Truthfully, with this bubble stuff, man, is I haven't been watching really. To tell you the truth, because as you can see, I'm just I'm a crazy Knicks fan. So I really haven't been really caring too much about it. But what intrigued me about the bubble is that how hard everybody's playing. Everybody's playing really hard. So that's something to really tip your hat to these players, man, because you forget how good the NBA is because you haven't seen them in so long. But I don't remember seeing these guys playing this hard, in a long time. Even with the fighting, there's a lot of fighting going on and stuff like that in the bubble, stuff like that. So it has been interesting. But truthfully, I haven't really been watching, man. So like the first round matchup, what is it? Portland and Memphis. Is that the first round matchup? I'm not really sure. But yeah, man, that game, that series alone is gonna be pretty good. And just go down the line. There's a lot of different elements to these playoffs. LeBron and the Lakers, what are they gonna do? A lot of their guys are injured. Can certain guys guard Damian Lillard if that was to happen? So like you talk about the first couple rounds, eventually these guys are gonna start meeting. So what's gonna happen if the Lakers play Dame? Because this, let's face it, the Portland Trailblazers don't play no defense. You know what I'm saying? They don't play any defense, and the Lakers play a little bit of defense, right? But a lot of their defenders that you will put on their perimeter players are gonna be hurt. So you got my man, the Great White Hope over there, Caruso. Is Caruso gonna be able to guard Dame? Is he gonna be able to guard CJ McCullough? You just go down the line. All the defenders are kind of chopped up, so you don't really know what's gonna happen. So that's gonna be the drama. So I'll be watching the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But this whole bubble stuff, man. In the beginning, it was just a bad taste in my mouth for a lot of reasons. Or Portland knocked out Memphis in the play-in game. Okay, so that was the game that I saw the other day when they were all hugging and kissing each other. Anyway, so I got to get into it, man. With the whole NBA stuff, because like I said, I'm a dire Knicks fan straight up. But all the other stuff, I'll get it in when I fit in, because it's just not the Knicks. What's going on over here? Sportscaster. We got NYK. What's that? 4L _ Eli. What's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, man. We just chilling. Thank you, Mark, for tuning in. I gotta get more prepared, man, because a show like this, I could have had you on here, Mark. So I've already been going on for 35 minutes or so. But got to be more vigilant with that, because Mark is on this one. The last show that I did, that was Slizzy Take from State of New York Knicks podcast. I could have had him on the show. So anyway, I got to get more organized with this. Like I said, this is just me, as you can see, in the place to be on the MIC. Yeah, man, drinking my iced tea. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, so this has been Evil to Any Star, hosted on this podcast. Let's show my man some love again. This is Gorilla. That's the new Dire Knicks intro beat. You'll be hearing that as time goes on, man. So once again, shout out to Gorilla. That's Gorilla Soul. You can find him on Instagram. The Gorilla spelled weird is GRRLLA. So that's Gorilla Soul. You can find him on Instagram, and give him a like and give him some encouragement, man, because he's like a guy that does it in the spare time. And he would like to do a little bit more with this. So, find him, listen to his stuff, and encourage him to keep on working, man. Bars. Let's just leave it like that. Bars, man. Yeah, man. Dianetics Podcast. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do here. You can find me on all podcast platforms. As well. Let's play around with this. I also got a telephone number. Put the telephone number up there. First, let's get rid of this comment, bro. Sorry, Mark. I got to get you out of there. All right, let's just talk about that, man. I got this telephone number. So there you go. Phone lines are open, blah blah blah. But we'll experiment with that as time goes on. And then, like I said, you can find me on all audio platforms. And I want to hear from you, man. Jump into the chat, just like Mark was doing. I could post you on the screen, and we could just talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, man. We got Sportscaster over there. Sportscaster usually is more chirpy over there, but you guys are quiet today. So and surprisingly, you got some Twitter people that was talking up on here. I see Facebook guys are watching, so it is great, man. Like I said, I'm throwing feelers out there, saying stuff that I want to say about the Knicks. I have my little rants about certain things. Whatever. Today we talked about Kenny Payne. We talked about Coach Stibbs. We talked about Steve Stout, World Wide West. We talked about Leon Rose and the whole crew or whatever, man. So anyway, this has been the Knicks podcast. Thank you guys for tuning into the brunch episode, man. I got some food in my mouth. Man, thank you for tuning in. Let's just keep on doing this, man. Next time I go live, I probably won't go live, but I got a couple shows coming up. So the next live, it could be soon, man. So just keep a lookout for that, man. And later in the week for the draft lottery, I might be doing a live podcast somewhere. So tune in for that. And that's pretty much it, man. Who else is talking here? This is Mark. There you go. Shout out to Mark. Mark is a great DJ. So where's he? He's on Facebook right now. So you can check him up on Facebook. He's a DJ and he does a lot of other different things having to do with the whole music thing. So hit him up, and there it is, Mark Irvin. All right, thanks for tuning in. Dianetics Podcast. Peace.